Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Venom, issue number 26. Whole lot of glitz and glam and flashbang boom in here. So, Venom Beyond starts here. It's like basically Venom in space. That's what seemed to, catch me. It doesn't seem to be the case, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's get talk about who made this comic book. We'll talk about the book itself, and then I'm going to get into a potential first appearance of what happens in here. Okay, here we go. So Donny Cates is the writer, Iban Coelho and Juan Guedon are the artists, Jesus Abertov on color art, VC's Clayton Cowles doing the letters, Ryan Stegman, J.P. Meyer, and Frank Martin doing the cover art. Okay, so in the beginning, Eddie beats up on this guy. That's basically what happens in here. He beats up on this punk. Not that big of a deal, right? Actually, it's a huge deal. Why? Because the only person who he beats in a fight in this entire thing. Even his son kind of, chumps him out a little bit, verbally, but still. Eddie Brock beats up on some punk to get information to find where the maker is. So he goes with Dylan to find the maker. There's actually some cool scenes in here. The art, really good. Gotta give it to the art crew in here. There's the part in here where Dylan is afraid to, go swinging through the city on his dad's back. But while he's on there, first you see him screaming, but then there's one small panel. I think it's the smallest panel on the page where you see his face. He's kind of cracking a smile, even though his eyes are like glued shut. They're squeezing tight shut. And that's a funny thing. It's like, you're scared to death, but you're kind of starting to get the hang of this. You're kind of, it's like, at the end of the day, through it all, you trust your father, right? You trust your dad. It's like, here's your dad, and as scared as you might be, you still kind of have that confidence. And that's what I read into this. And maybe that's just me. But it felt like he really trusted Pops. Okay, cool. Digging that. Art team did that. You either got it or you didn't. You either felt that or you didn't. Now, moving on. Finally gets up to the maker. The maker, seems to be something going on. He's got a symbiote. It's a really weird freaking thing that this happens because it's the symbiote from back in the 1610 universe. Oh, we're not done with the 1610 universe. The Ultimate Universe, we're not done here. Because once Eddie goes up there, the maker's a badass. You know what I'm saying? Reed Richards from the Earth 1610 universe. He, Venom tries to attack him. He just one-shot. He punches him and punches Eddie straight out of the symbiote. I'm expecting to see the Wile E. Coyote's silhouette punch through a wall or a concrete like a boulder or something like that, the side of a mountain, because that's how funny this was. I just started laughing. It was actually kind of silly to a degree. He just gets back up. Oh, come back to me, symbiote. Oh, okay. We good? Yeah, we're good. Sorry about that. Yeah, just don't leave me this time. Okay, we're good. Let's go back and fight. And it's like, dude, you just got housed. You just got bodied. Literally, your body came out of your other. It almost looked like something out of freaking Doctor Strange, the movie. You know what I'm saying? When he was talking when Strange was talking some crap to the Ancient One, and Tilda Swinton, I think that's who played the role, just kind of boom, and she hit your soul out of your body. Do you know how badass you got to be to do something like that? You just open hand slapped the soul out of this some gun. And that's what it looked like here. I was laughing my ass off, man. Anyway, so also happened with the Hulk, didn't it? It's like, oh, you're not even the Hulk anymore. There's your body. There's your body. Hey, Bruce. So that's what happens in here, and he just gets straight housed. Somebody else shows up too. Somebody shows up, and this is kind of an potentially important thing, because this is the guy who we see on the cover of this book. Guy's pretty tough. He shows up. He's got all this glitz and glam. I'm going to show you all that good stuff in a moment. Here's the thing. Well, more specific. I'll show you the thing. Here's the thing. This is what he looks like. All right, just on the front cover, except you can see even more. He's got a goblin glider. He's got, a goblin batarang thing. I can't. It's not called a batarang, but it's in the shape of a bat, and it's a boomerang. So anyway, the razor rangs, whatever they call them. He's got the pumpkin bombs, obviously, and there's a bit of a house show ripoff up in here. Multiple times he's asked, "Who are you?" At one point, he tries to say who his name is, but then there's an explosion. Okay. Right down here, the last thing that is said, Eddie get down. It's, and the next thing that's said besides the boom is virus. Okay, that's it. That's all it's going to say. And then it's always, who are you? You know, all this other stuff like that. So the only thing we've got to go on is virus. So this is interesting. You go and you look it up. You read the rest of the comic book. I'm not going to give you the end of what happens in the comic book because it's kind of cool. And I'm seriously looking forward to what's about to happen now because holy crap, they just went there. And when I say there, I mean literally they went there. I told you the thing wasn't finished yet. Anyway, so while all this is happening, I'm recognizing certain things in here. Donny Cates, the way that he writes, he's like a flashbang grenade. Okay? Not in and of itself, he's a guy who carries a flashbang grenade. So he'll just, boop, secondary safety pin. Us military guys know that. Pulls the pin, flips that secondary safety pin, tosses that flashbang grenade, moves over to the side. Go. This thing's boom! It makes a big light and everything, and there's the big spectacle. Everybody's like dazed and confused, going, "Whoa! That was amazing, dude!" But there's not a lot of substance to something like that, right? Here's the thing. Every so often, Donnie will, use this minor trope of something big and glamorous and, look, big deal. And all that really does is it's not meant to necessarily shock and awe you, but it's meant to disguise the fact that certain things are happening here. Now, there's a major grammatical error in here in the sense that the letterer, for one reason or another, double typed 2 sets of words. Accident, was it meant to be? I think it was more of an accident. But it's what happens in that paragraph. The only 3 people in the room besides the Maker is Eddie, the Venom symbiote, and Dylan. The Maker is talking to Eddie. And he says, you, your other, and the animal. Now, it took a moment to really catch that because there was the grammatical, the double, words there. But he genuinely meant to call him an animal, it seems. If that's the case, the Maker did a bunch of experiments on Dylan. Why would he call him an animal? So I'm a little bit curious about all that good stuff, but I'm going to take it a little bit further now. This virus guy, it seems like his name is going to be Virus. If his name is in fact actually Virus, you look it up on the internet and it goes to, in the Marvel Universe, Mr. Cohen. I don't know what's up with this. Maybe that's what this guy is. The first appearance of this guy was, pay attention to this, Peter Parker Spider-Man. Not Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man, no. Peter Parker Spider-Man, Volume 2. That's important. I'm going to actually show you what he looks like right here, what the cover of that comic book looks like here. Issue number 48. So Peter Parker Spider-Man, Volume 2, issue number 48. Pay attention to that. Why? Because that might be the first appearance of that is the first appearance of a person named Mr. Cohen. And it seems as though this is actually who Virus is. Am I right? Am I wrong? Don't quote me. Unless I'm right, then quote the hell out of me. But depending on when you get this video, if nobody else has said anything, this is definitely the first appearance of this suit, it seems. This is the first appearance of the suit. But that may be the first appearance of Mr. Cohen. Well, it is the first appearance of Mr. Cohen, who might be the person inside of the virus symbiote. Now, Eddie Brock and all that stuff, it doesn't appear inside that book. But maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Go and check it out. I will, however, point out that the book is showing up a lot on eBay right now for a lot of money. And some of those people daring to even charge like $35 plus shipping. So the sooner you get this message, the sooner you can, you're probably not going to find anything cool on eBay. That you can probably try and swing by a comic book store, hopefully the local one to you, that actually has the book in there. I would recommend doing that. I personally, if you have the time, I would not even bother calling the comic book store and saying, hey, do you have such and such issue? Could you put that in my pull box and I'll be right there, unless you really know this guy really well. Because all of a sudden they're going to go and start doing an internet search And they're going to look at eBay, the very first thing they're going to look at if they have half a brain. And boom, that's when all of a sudden they're going to be like, I can get $35 for this. So go to a comic book store, preferably one of the older ones, the dusty old bins. Happens it has that book in there for like $2 or less, maybe $5, and grab the book and go. All right. If it's not anything, it's not anything. But at the same time, think about how much Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 6 is. Because Donnie didn't write that book either. Didn't draw it, nothing. But he turned all black, the sword that the God Butcher was using, Gore, and he turned it into Null. And now that is technically, retroactively, unintendedly, the first appearance of Null. And suddenly you can't get that for cheap anymore, right? So, is this your opportunity to do that? Yes, it is. I recommend closing this video, leaving a like, you son of a gun. You leave a like. Then you close this video and you go and try and get that comic book. You can get it for cheap, cool. If not, it's not going to kill you. It's just not. Anyway, I'm about to bounce. Leave my buddy Venom here hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.